Okay, so this was the funnest match. Let me ask you a question. What is Thunder Rosa's background? Is she the girl that accused? Which is the girl that accused? What's her name of using the N-word?
There's a girl.
Rosa Negra.
Oh, okay, Negra. Okay, this is not Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, okay, so Rosa Negra is Puerto Rican. This girl is Mexican.
Okay, Thunder Rosa. All right. So the Serena Deeb girl, nothing. I just who's that? You know,
she. She used to be in WWE with CM Punk.
Remember
Serena
she shaved her head?
Yeah, the straight edge society.
Remember it was her, Luke Gallows, and CM Punk when they were.
I wasn't watching it.
Yeah, it's like 2010, something like that.
At that time, he was feuding with Rey Mysterio.
And that's when they had their WrestleMania match.
Did you? So this match this match stuck out like a sore thumb because they actually worked.
Right, bro. And here's the other thing. See if you remember this. Did you see when they locked up?
Yeah, JR was awesome. JR was putting this match over so much that he was actually trying to say, look, these girls know how to work.
Yeah, and you guys don't.
But he caught himself burying the other girls.
Yeah.
And said, I don't want to say something that might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Konnan?
Yeah, he was going to.
No, what I did hear is what he said. They're not like the others that are just flying around for no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
They have fundamentals. And I was like, wow. He just destroyed that whole dressing room.
He was going to.
It worked like it.
He was going to say something
so good compared to the other girls that JR was trying to tell everybody this is how you're supposed to work, but didn't realize he had to bury all the other girls and caught himself burying the other girls, and then he catches I can't say I better stop before I say something wrong.
Yeah, he was going to say something like this has been the best women's match in AEW, and then he realized it was both of them aren't under AEW contract. I don't think so.
Right,
I've been looking at you for a while, Joe, and I liked more unkempt, unshaven Joe than this.
I do too.
Kind of like school.
After I get it all to a certain point, my wife goes, "Nope, gone." So then I just take it all off and start over again. And I use Manscaped.com.
Would any of you guys agree or disagree with me that he looks like he shaved like the meat a little kid before To Catch a Predator? Nothing. Is that just me?
This is like day after a job interview shave.
And I look like the guy that honors Catch a Predator, but I didn't have time to shave.
Let me give you. So the Moxley cut a promo in the back. I didn't think much of it. I'm a fan of some of his promos, but I don't think he said much here. But let me give you the thing. So this is the guy. I guess his name is Barnett, and the guy that reviews this on ProWrestling.net. Okay. Mm-hmm. A highly enjoyable match from Rosa and Serena. JR caught himself calling it one of the best AEW's women's matches to avoid offending people, but he was not wrong. This wasn't a flashy match in terms of risky high spots, but it didn't lack excitement, and both women showed off an impressive skill set. If I were hiring for AEW, I'd be falling over backwards to open my checkbook for both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
Moxley, as usual, gave an effortlessly great promo. Thelonious Monk said a genius is the man most like himself, and I think Moxley is in that zone right now. The Battle Royal segment was the weakest of that by far, but bro, do you get that when you listen to Moxley's promos?
No, he's a good promo. I don't think he's. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
MJF's promos blow his away.
I'm a bigger fan of MJF.
He blows him away on the mic.
Yeah, I think he's
like eviscerated him on the mic like every time.
What the guy's saying is Moxley's better in this environment than he was under the scripted environment as Ambrose. He's doing way better.
That's not what it sounded like to me, but that's true. That is true, but that's not what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. I mean, Moxley brought nothing. Bro, MJF has slaughtered him on the mic for like 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
And he has not had a good comeback on the mic to MJF yet.
Do you think he doesn't care about being champion?
Moxley, do you think they're going to give MJF the belt? You think he's going to get the belt?
I think you jump on it now.
Think?
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would, because I'd fucking pay for that. I'd pay $50 if I knew that he was going to win it, but I don't. So
because and if they've made the mistake that we've said on here a million times of cutting the balls off a lot of the heels, and so if undefeated MJF goes in and loses his title shot, you know what? You got to start all over again with him. Like guys like Archer.
You fucked up with everybody else. Do it right this time, and you won't have to fucking rehabilitate the problem. Here's another match I'm not into.
Time out. I got to go over the thing we missed earlier.
Yeah.
The promo with the lawyer in the room.
Right. When he broke the door down.
Yeah, MJF's character is so strong. He doesn't mean to be doing all the silly, his neck brace, and he's what? Right. That's all. Come on. So next one was. I'm gonna read this. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say something about Thunder Rosa. We didn't talk about her fucking entrance, and it's amazing. Like her music sounds awesome. She comes out like a fucking pro. Like the other lady she was in there with. I mean, it just looked like a great match all around. But like both of them looked way higher caliber than anybody else on that roster. It just looked. It was pretty showing.
Well, let me tell you real quick. That was a good match, and Thunder Rosa is a good friend of mine because she's from Tijuana, and that's where I started.
I've seen her down the street from me in Austin. I put $25 in her hand to buy 2 T-shirts, one for me and my daughter.
Yeah, so she's doing her shit, bro, and I'm proud of her. And she had a good match, and she looked great. You know, she fucking looked great.
I missed this segment. You're gonna have to describe this to me. I'm gonna read it. Big Swole was interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and she said she was going to show up at Brittany Bazura Baker's job on Saturday, and she would give her the beating she'd been ducking for months. Reba walked up holding a pizza and said she had a delivery for Tony. Swole said she wasn't fooling anybody, and Baker assaulted Swole with a crutch from behind. She then kicked her in the face and shoved her face into the pizza. She then applied lockjaw and rubbed the pizza all over Swole's face and hair. Baker used a cloth mask on her hand when she stuck her hand into Swole's mouth. Did that do that justice, or is that what do you guys think of that?
Exactly what happened. But go ahead.
I mean, was it any good, or was it still? I mean, delivering a pizza? I didn't get this.
I mean, it kind of made me hungry, but.
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, big swole, and I mean, big swole. You're not that big. I mean,
you're not swole. I asked the same question the other day.
And the whole mandible claw thing in the mouth.
Yeah, why don't you just bite her hand? Nothing.
It's like, what's going on there? You know, I don't know. I just know Tony Schiavone likes doing those segments with Britt Baker because he tells me every Friday. So,
how about you, Reg?
I like Big Swole. I mean, I like the name too. Fuck it. Like, I don't care if you're not big. That's the whole point, right? It's the fight on the inside, and she's supposed to be like, and she's a babyface, so wouldn't that make sense? But
okay, so why don't
the rest of it?
Why don't the company explain that? Because 5 of us here probably didn't know that, except you. And like I said, when I hear Big Swole, I don't think of the big fight inside. I think of big, which she isn't neither tall or fat. And when I think Swole, I think Diesel, and she's not that either, even though she's in good shape. But if it's a big fight inside of her, that's cool. Explain that to us.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the next thing was Moxley and the lawyer.
And I thought that segment was silly. I'm not into them. They've dragged this on way too fucking long. I hope that match on Saturday is great because they've dragged this way too long and it was just fucking kind of corny.
So then they had the Moxley against the lawyer, and I can't believe this was this was like the main event for the go home for the pay-per-view. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But bro, the whole thing.
Well, the main event was the angle.
It was the angle, but the whole thing of the guy, like, he didn't know how to make a fist.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, right.
It took too long.
How do you jack off? Nothing.
Well, first of all, so he'd be okay. So the beatdown after the match. So MJF kicks the shit out of Moxley for the match, bro. That like literally the beatdown lasted like how long? Like 3 minutes and nobody came out.
Yeah.
Like that one security literally nobody came out. I think they just let the guy beat up the champion and leave him in a pool of blood, and like not one person came out at all. And I'm like that. I would have. I don't know, that would have added.
What would you have done there? What would you have done? You tell me. What would you have done?
Have a couple referees come in and Wardlow, chucks. Have somebody come out of the ring,
right?
Where Wardlow is preventing people from stopping the beating. At least they're trying to hit the ring to try to stop the beating.
Right.
And that nobody came out to even try to stop the beating.
Yeah, that's a very valid point.
Right, so it's like and you could have got Wardlow over as a big guy. All these guys are trying to come in and stop it. Wardlow's out there beating the piss out of the others, tossing guys out of the ring or throwing.
He's going to be part of the problem that week, or he's going to be part of the problem Saturday. But instead, he's not part of anything. Yeah.
But I will say this because I got to put him over when I got to put him over, and I've been complaining, vociferously. What a tremendous word for a Latino. That they don't book any heat. That was good heat. I like that. I like the bleeding, him over him with the belt, just looking like a fucking badass.
The hits that MJF got on them, they looked fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like they look like New Japan. I watched a lot of New Japan, and they looked rough. Like I was pretty stoked for those hits.
Yeah, MJF looks like he can fight for real.
Yeah,
but I
Like
bring
he
up,
looked like if he's in a bar and fucking somebody fucks with him, he looks like he'd beat the shit out of the guy.
But I bring
you
up
know?
a point. I bring up a point that Disco brought before. Wasn't necessary in the Chris Jericho match to have blood if you were going to have it at the end.
Well, Mark makes a good point
Yes.
that
Who's
if
Mark?
the whole spot was, or Adam, excuse me,
Yeah.
makes a good point that the I don't know what I was reading something that the guy's name was Mark. So
is he calling you a
Adam,
Mark?
no, I was reading a guy. I'm trying. As you could probably see in my glasses, I'm splitting screens on some of these things. But he's right. The whole spot was to have the Orange Cassidy white shirt and rub the blood on the shirt. It's like I doubt that they had got like I doubt that they knew. I doubt Jericho knew that MJF was getting laid out in blood.
Really?
And I bet you Chris basically just I want to do this spot and stuff. And then
Bro, but shouldn't they be going over that in the producers meeting
that's
or
what
the
I'm
head
saying.
agent?
I think it's weird that it got that got laid out with.
It's an indie show. Remember that.
I just think it's weird that they did that. That
Not
they
an
got
indie show. They're on TV now, bro, and those type of things shouldn't be happening on TV if that's what
Tonight,
Disco's alluding to.
Tonight there was literally 6 censors for cuss words,
Right.
and 2 guys bled.
Right.
On a show that started off with 2 guys fighting because they talked bad about a guy's mother.
Right.
You know, so
That's
it's
a
like,
very weird show. Yes.
Yes, it is. It's a weird show. You know,
And a humongous clusterfuck right in the middle with that battle royal thing.
with stuff that doesn't look like any violent
with a
fighting
good
at all.
woman's match. What a weird show. It had some good and it had some bad, you know.
They've got a very weird universe they've set up here, and I'm just not into it. There's too many for what they're trying to do. It's like they're not like they want to be like the whole thing was they wanted a sports feel, right? Like, but they do not tighten screws on making the thing feel like it's a sports show. It feels like a cosplay of a sports show.
Yeah, but I think they want to do like they want to appeal to the nerds. They want to appeal to the hardcore. They want to appeal to the people that you know what I'm saying. They're trying to appeal to so many people.
Just to be devil's advocate,
the nerd culture too. Go ahead.
To be devil's advocate, Disco, I agree. It's never felt like a sports show to me. But the one thing that they've done is it's their big show Sunday. They have a title match, and Moxley and MJF are both undefeated. They took the 2 undefeated guys and built them up for their big championship match. So that's the one.
I remember
thing.
them saying that.
Yeah.
So
that should be something that I've been hearing about for weeks. Why didn't I? I guess I haven't heard him say that.
They should have, especially if both guys are undefeated. I'm pretty sure they're close.
You know what? Honestly,
yeah, they didn't bring that up during the show. If they did, I didn't hear it.
Maybe they assume that their hardcore, like their fan base, is watching all of their content.
Well, they should.
Okay, I'm not going to argue about it, but that's the way it feels.
Let's assume that. That's good. That's a good assumption. Let's also assume that there's a lot of people that don't. How about giving them a fucking heads up?
That's the criticism. You know, it's like, hey, just don't assume that like all your fans know about all everything's going on.
Rez was telling us about Big Swole with the fighting spirit. I was thinking that's probably shit like indie guys like know about, you know, but like we don't. So you need to tell us too.
I know when they're on the cuss words and the bleeping, they missed the bleep. You know, they said the cuss word on TV. That bleep.
Yeah, I heard them say dickhead, right?
Yeah, the S word and everything else. You know, and the bleeps weren't in the right spot. It's like, isn't there like a 3-second delay or something?
Right. Is that show live? Was that show live?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe they're not used to it yet.
Jeez, that's TNT. I mean, come on.
You know, they always missed bleeps in WCW, too. It was the same thing, like a couple of
that was the 90s. We're in fucking 2020, bro. I mean, come on. Go ahead, Rez.
I want to say that at the end of this match, that was just so boring until MJF got there. We all knew that's what was coming, but like the build to that was forever. At the end of it, Moxley took that guy and looked right in his face, and I heard him say this. I tweeted out. He put, "This makes for terrible television," and then he hit him. I was like, "Well, he's right." Yeah, it was pretty bad. Even Moxley on air said how bad it was.
So the next show will be Saturday, right?
Yeah, the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Pay-per-view.
All right.